Welcome guys, this is Tech Knowledge Made Basic. In this tutorial we're going to go over the Mail app. Now that we have a Microsoft account synchronized with our Windows 8, Microsoft account being simply just an email address with Microsoft that ends in @live.com, @hotmail.com, or @outlook.com, we can now access and have full access to everything on the Windows 8 computer. We'll go ahead and start by going over the Mail app here. So we'll go ahead and click on the top left, do a left click. And we're going to go over how basically to use the app and just some of the different settings within the app. On the left side here you see of course your normal things that you would see within your email, which is going to be your inbox, anything that you receive, any email that you receive from a recipient. You have your flagged, anything that you mark as flagged that you want to stand out within your email in case you want to read later. You have your drafts folder, and that is just any email that you're composing that maybe you don't want to finish at the time, or you don't know what to add, you just want to save it as a draft to finish up later. You have your sent, of course, any email that you have sent. And your outbox is also email that you have sent, but it's just email that you're sending at the moment. It's a temporary storage. So a sent and outbox are essentially almost the same thing. You have your junk folder, anything that you mark as junk that you don't want, within your inbox. You have any deleted content, any thing that you've deleted within your inbox that maybe you want to review one more time before you permanently delete. You can go in here and permanently delete any email. Right now I don't have any email in here because it's a new email address I just synchronized. And then archive, which would be any email that you want to keep that's very important to you, that you want to maybe reference in a future time. But what we're going to go over right now is how to compose a message. So we'll go ahead and click on this plus sign here on the top right of our screen, do a left click, and within here is where you can go ahead and compose a new message to send out. On the left hand side here is where you have the two, where you can go ahead and type in somebody's email address. You have carbon copy, so if you want to send it to multiple recipients. If we click on show more, it's going to give us two other options. We have our blind carbon copy and our priority, so we can set an email with high priority, normal, or low priority. And we have our carbon copy and our blind carbon copy. Now they essentially both do the same thing. They're going to allow you to send to multiple recipients at once. The carbon copy though is going to show everybody's email address, so every person that you send that email to is going to be able to see everybody else's email address. Whereas if you use the blind carbon copy option, that's going to hide everybody's email address. So they're only going to be able to see their own email address and your email address. But they're not going to be able to see everybody else's email address that you're sending that message to. So if you want to keep a message private, you want to make sure that you use a blind carbon copy. Now on the right hand side of our screen, we have the options to go ahead and compose. We have the body of our message here where we can go ahead and type a message. And on the top right hand corner here in the middle, we can go ahead and add a subject. So let's go ahead and just say this is our subject to our new email. And in the body of the message, we can go ahead and start composing an email. So let's go ahead and type correctly. This is where we would type a new message. But if that kind of looks boring to you, because it kind of does, you can go ahead and change it. So you have options. If we highlight this, that's going to bring up some commands at the bottom here. It's going to allow us to go ahead and change our font. We can make it bold, we can italicize it, we can underline it, we can change our color, we can add emoticons to our email. The more option here allows us to go ahead and insert a link, to make a bulleted list, numbered list, to clear our formatting, to undo, and to redo. If we click on insert link, it brings up a box so we can go ahead and insert URL and address here to a certain link that we want to paste within our email, and then we can type a message also. Let's go ahead and change our body of our message a little bit. Let's go ahead and change the font and make it, we don't really have a whole lot of options. Let's make it Tahoma and as large as possible, which is 36 font, and make it bold. And we'll also underline it, and we'll also change our color to, let's change it to red. And there we have it. So we have different options there, but if we want to add also, say, an emoticon, let's go ahead and do a right click in our white space to bring up our commands again, and do a left click on emoticons. And we have different options here. They're even categorized, our different emoticons. We have people and faces, we have activities, food and things, travel, nature, and symbols. Let's go ahead and click on symbols and just add one. Just add the number 2, 5 up. Let's add a triangle. Starting to look a little bit like hieroglyphics now. Let's just add a pill, just to show you that you can add different ones and what it looks like and everything. So this is, of course, is where we would type our message. This is where we have our subject. Here's where the recipients that we're going to send it to. And if we do a right click in the white space, it's going to bring up the options here to go ahead and allow us to format our body a little bit. We can also save this as a draft. We can paste it. The options here on the top right of the screen are our send. We can attach a different file, and we can also go ahead and discard this message. So right now, let's go ahead and save it as a draft. Let's go ahead and go back. As you can see here within our drafts folder now, we have our message that we have saved as a draft. So, and if we do a right click in the space here, it brings up different commands within within our main mail app. We have a sync option down here, which allows us to go ahead and synchronize any new email that's coming in. We have a folder option. We can go ahead and create a new folder. We have a pin to start. We have a select all, where we can select all the email. We can print out a certain email that we want. We can flag things. That way it'll stand out within our email. We can mark as unread, even if we've read it. And up here on the top, we have an edit, so we can go ahead and edit that. We have, of course, the compose new message again, and we can go ahead and discard and delete this specific message. Just go ahead and delete it. And we're back to square one where we have nothing. But that's basically our different folders here in the left hand side of our email. You have all the different options here. You have the plus sign here where we can compose a new message. You even have a magnifier here where you can search within your email. Say if you have a ton of email and you're searching for a specific one, you can type in a keyword. Some other options within our mail app. If you take your pointer and go all the way to the top right and click on settings, we have an accounts option here. If we do a left click, we can go ahead and add another email account. So we can have multiple different email accounts within our mail app. We have our options where we can turn different things on and off, where it says when an unread message is selected, mark as read. We can turn that option off. Go to help in case you have a question about the mail app and there's something that you forgot how to do. You can go within the help to find your answer. About, that just tells you about the mail app itself. Feedback, you can leave feedback on the app in case you hate it or love it. Just let them know. You can rate and review it. You have different permissions where you can allow your webcam to access the app. You can turn notifications on and off for this specific app. You can make it not run in the background when your lock screen is on. So that's more options for your mail app here. But that's just a quick rundown of the new mail app that we have access to now that we have Microsoft account synchronized. So play around with this app. It's a really good app to use. But that does conclude this tutorial. I do thank you guys for watching, and I appreciate your time.